Hey boys and girls, so I'm doing a little practicing out here. While I was doing this, I had a thought about something we haven't talked about. This might sound a little tactical, but do you guys EDC? It's everyday carry, and it can apply to your to the music profession as well. So I thought we'd maybe do a pocket dump and bag dump and see what everybody's carrying. Here's our EDC Pocket Dump and Bag Dump. Okie dokie. So, Pocket Dump. I've been mostly into a, everybody has a wallet, minimalist kind of wallet. I don't have the smallest one right now. This is a Grip 6. So you can, grab your credit cards that way. Carry my ID there. A few credit cards. And, medical things, a little bit of cash in the other one. And a lot of times, my AirPods. See, always have a pocket knife of some sort. You just never know when you're gonna need that, whether it's cutting packages or sawing at something. There's always a reason to have that. The other thing that I always have, I don't necessarily have on my person, but I have several in bags, no matter what bag I have, whether it's a gig bag or my church bag. And that is, and I have them all over the place here too. Over here is flashlight. Gotta have a flashlight. That's an EDC item that you cannot do without. I have them on my key rings. On this that just stays on there, I have a little multi-tool. Have a little multi-tool there. Some pliers. A little tiny screwdriver. And as always, flashlight on these keys, which are my church keys. I usually have a little pry bar. You just never know when you're gonna need something like that too. So as far as EDC stuff, everyday carry, ways to connect it or hang it on things. Okay. In the EDC bag, I have another way to attach my carabiners. All these little carabiners, lots of those for connecting things. I love these leather bags, these NutSac bags. They're really well made. Pens and Sharpies. As you can see, another flashlight, another multi-tool. In this case, extra mag for my firearm, which I happen to be carrying back here. Sometimes I carry appendix. I always have something. What do I have in here? For me, leg cramps, just in case muscles get kind of weird. Visine, some sort of redness reliever, Visine kind of stuff. Extra cables, extra power for phones. I don't have it in here, but in my gig bag I have a power block for powering up my phone. Extra set of glasses, thin optics. These are really tiny. Little tiny. Readers, Band-Aids. You know, there's a lot of things you could stock in here. I always have my iPad, church iPad. I have my other regular iPad that has music apps on it that enable you to have your sheet music in there. Speaking of that kind of stuff, let's talk about the gig-worthy things. So we talk about the gig stuff. Absolutely, of course, you're going to have your instrument. In my case, it could be a bass or a couple of basses. I usually take 2 axes, 2 basses. Now this is not studio. For studio, you might take more because you need a little arsenal. Sometimes I'll take a fretless. I have a 4-string, I have a 5-string. Might have another fretless, I don't know. Or it just depends on, you know, if you know what the style is that you're going for in the session. I always take a couple of DIs. I think you can see this very well. But that's my useful arts there. That's a great DI. I use that usually in the studio, and it's a tube, and it's got a great sound, and you can get a good growl out of it too. And then I have a Motown, Acme Motown DI, which is passive. This one's active, that one's passive. So I carry a couple of DIs to the studio. As far as the basses, again, you know, I have a couple of basses even when I do live gigs. Gig bag is easier, so a couple of gig bags. Extra strings, batteries. I always have like a handkerchief or something I can wipe down the neck or the strings if they get a little sweaty or they get some humidity on them or different thing. You know, something to wipe off the neck. 1/4-inch cable, extra one if you can. Maybe even a small one for the DI, a little shorty 1/4-inch to make a connection to your amp, or, you know, a studio hopefully might have that. Extension cords, AC extension cords for live gigs. I usually have 1 or 2 bags with extraneous cables, speaker connections, pedal power, batteries, maybe, like I said, small 1/4-inch connection cables. Hum eliminators. I've got a pedal that's an Electro-Harmonix hum eliminator, and I have them for the AC line as well too. I haven't had great luck with that here at home with any grounding problems, but on the gig it can certainly help clean stuff up. XLR cables, either for the DI or for mic cables, you know, if you're doing any vocals, and they do make a difference. I've seen that here at my home studio, that I recently had some grounding or RF EMI, different kinds of issues with a couple of nice mics, and I got some Mogami cables, which are a little more expensive, and that did the trick. So it can make a difference. So I have 1 or 2 bags, and of all things, you know, if you're out doing an outdoors gig and you have a music stand, nowadays I usually use the iPad for reading music, but hopefully you'll have a music stand that is pretty much collapsible. Makes it a little more compact when you're carrying stuff. Clothespins or some sort of method for attaching and keeping that music from flying all over the place outdoors. Guitar stands, however many guitar stands you need, at least one good one. As I said, DIs or a DI. Of course, you're going to have your amp and speaker cabs. They may be cased or they might not, but you have to prepare for those kinds of things. The last couple of years I've been taking with me, because a lot of times I do live jazz gigs. So I'll take a portable, collapsible sort of chair, you know, so that I'll have something that if I need to sit. And extra wardrobe, extra shirt. If you know, your pants get all messed up, yeah. What if you have car problems, you got to change a tire or some kind of weird thing. You know, extra clothing. Be aware of what you need for that specific gig and have something that's appropriate to change into if you have to. Or, you know, the old school method is to not wear anything that you're doing for the show or for the gig until, you know, you go on stage or go get on board to play. But that doesn't work sometimes with these live jazz gigs for me. I load equipment and everything. Gloves, speaking of that, gloves for your hands, protect your hands. So those are some things. If you guys can think of some that I've left out, you know, leave it in the comments, and be glad to address that. So, you know, be dependable, be on time, have all the necessary things that you need so you don't have to grab something from somebody else. Everybody makes a mistake and forgets a cord or a cable or something every once in a while, but generally you should have that together. So till next time, see ya.